Closed introduction for Ivanka Škrbec Novak's letter. It was 1942, and Europe was engulfed in fire and blood. The Second World War, like a merciless storm, was crushing towns and villages alike. In the heart of this chaos, the small and beautiful land of Slovenia was gasping for its last breaths of freedom under the boots of German and Italian occupiers. The war was no longer just a clash between armies. It had turned homes, schools, and even empty cradles into battlefields. Here, in these dark days, lived a woman named Ivanka Škrbec Novak, a young schoolteacher with eyes full of hope and a heart overflowing with faith. She was not only an educator, but a light for the children of her village. With her smile and her words, she gave them the courage to dream, even as the sounds of bombs and screams shattered every dream. But war knows no kindness. An accusation of helping the resistance was enough to ensnare even the most innocent heart. Ivanka, who secretly aided the partisans and carried hidden messages, was eventually discovered and arrested. Her courage was the very thing the enemy feared most. She was taken into captivity, thrown into the cold, merciless cells of the prison, and sentenced to death. Yet even in those final hours, her spirit did not break. She was not alone in her heart. A tiny life was beating. Ivanka was pregnant, carrying a child who would never have the chance to see the light of day. On her final night, as the dawn of death approached, she took pen and paper in hand, not to plead for mercy, not to curse her captors, but to write a letter to the only soul who did not yet know her, her unborn child. A letter filled with love, hope, and faith, more a promise of reunion in another world than a farewell. Hours later, she was led to the firing squad. The war silenced the gentle teacher and the child within her. But her letter survived, so that decades later, the world would know that even in the darkest moments of history, the light of love and courage never truly fades. And now, you are about to hear her voice. The voice of a woman who stepped into death's embrace with a heart full of hope.
Just a few more hours and my life will be over. Oh God, oh sorrowful mother, my mother, you know that I die innocent, just as your son died innocent. Oh my child, my gentle angel, how I long to see the features of your face, the tiny pearls of your gaze. I will never see your blooming smile, the one that would have brought me joy. Oh my child, my tender flower, I will never see your little white hands. Never will you reach out to return my sweet embrace. I will never be able to press you to my heart, though you are so close to it. Never, my child. Somewhere there, in the embrace of the forest, will be our home, adorned with spring flowers. My lips will never be able to sing lullabies to you by the cradle, and I myself will be your cradle. Though so cold and lifeless, the branches above us will sing and rustle a loving lullaby. Oh, just sleep peacefully, my child, for you are so close to my heart, which loves you so dearly. But though it loves you, it cannot save you from the embrace of death, which awaits you too. Just sleep peacefully, for you do not sense what is approaching. You will die with me, I, in thought, with you, and then, when the struggle and suffering are over, we shall come together before God. When I first sensed your restlessness beneath my heart, I was already dreaming of the day I would carry you for the first time into God's presence. For the waters of baptism to flow over you now, it will soon be my own blood that will cover you with your mother's loving blood. You will be baptized. I pictured Christ, under the form of bread, bending down to you for the first time. In vain, and yet, my body will soon be a sacrificial ciborium, and you, my child, will be the host within it. The Creator Himself will take the host of your being into His loving hands and place it in His divine heart. There, my child, I will see you for the first time, O my gentle angel. There I will see your face. There you will see your mother, and for the first time you will cry out to me, "Oh, Mama!" Look, my child, morning is already near. The first dawn behind the mountains announces it, our final morning of suffering. Morning will rise again, but without suffering and tears. It will rise before God. Just sleep peacefully, for your mother watches over you. Look, the red dawn already heralds the waking day, and the last stars fade into it. The clock in the tower already tolls the morning, which will take us on our final journey. But I will not go alone. You will be with me, my child. And Mary, just as she went with her son to Calvary, she will go with us. In our final last breaths, she will stand by us, and she will carry us to our eternally joyful home. No one will disturb our happiness again, for we shall be immersed in the eternal God, in the eternal peace of God. My child, just sleep. Mary is with us. Look, they are coming. They are coming.
When Ivanka penned her final words, her fingers trembled slightly, not from fear, but from the damp chill of the prison's stone walls. The scent of moisture and rusted iron mingled with the echo of keys turning in the corridor. She knew well that this letter might never reach its destination, just as so many of her unspoken thoughts had remained locked in her heart. Yet, writing it was a kind of victory for her, a triumph over the silence her captors wished to impose. A few hours later, before dawn had fully broken, the guards arrived. The heavy thud of boots echoed through the hallway. Iron doors creaked open one after another, and they led her to the small courtyard behind the prison, a place forever shadowed by death. They blindfolded her, but not before she tilted her head upward, taking one last look at the morning sky. Perhaps this was the final time she would see its pale light. Ivanka, a young woman from a modest Croatian family, stood without trembling. Even when the rifle barrels were leveled at her chest, her face remained calm, almost serene, as if she was meeting death, not as an enemy, but as an old acquaintance arriving from afar. After the execution, her family lived in a circle of fear and constant scrutiny. Their small home was watched by the occupying forces. Their few possessions were confiscated, and her younger brother was sent to forced labor in a distant city. Her mother never took off her black mourning dress, and every evening sat silently by the window, still waiting, it seemed, for her daughter's return. Years later, she passed away in the same quiet grief. Croatia and the Balkans, in the years after Ivanka's death, remained caught in the whirlpool of war and politics. The end of World War II did not bring complete freedom. Borders shifted, regimes changed, and the memory of occupation still breathed through the streets and houses. In those days, many people didn't dare to speak the names of executed heroes, yet their stories survived in whispered conversations and tales told by the fireside. Decades later, when a new generation encountered Ivanka's name in books and faded documents, they realized her defiance was not just a single heroic moment. It was proof that even in the darkest times, a human being could stand against silence and oblivion. The country she had dreamed of freeing would follow a long and winding path from foreign occupation to authoritarian regimes, from economic hardships to ethnic and political conflict. Today, many may not know her name, yet the letter she wrote in the final hours of her life still lives on, preserved in the pages of history and in the hearts of those who read it. It was not only a message to her family, but to all of us a reminder that even when everything is taken from you, your words can travel through time and stir hearts decades, even centuries later. And perhaps that is her greatest victory, the victory over a death that could not silence her voice.